Tiffany. I'm a survivor, and this is, I'm gonna get emotional. I usually don't. This is something that myself when I was a child, never knew something like this would ever even exist, prayed it would. They work with underage children and then also 18 plus, eradicating human trafficking, rescuing survivors, helping survivors on the next chapter of their journey plan. Now that I get to be a part of that for somebody else is incredible. Mount Aruca is the residential campus that we have. We have 4 residents right now. We can house up to 30. Young girls ages 11 to 17 can come out, but they get on what they call their journey to freedom, and they go through this 2-year program, and at the end of it, they literally have a graduation, and it's the cutest thing. And every single time, the hugs never last forever because these girls go home or whatever their next chapter is. It's very impactful. Yeah, there's this one girl that just recently graduated, and my last night there, the next weekend she was graduating and it was going to be my last one, and we just cried, and she was like, remember when I didn't even know how to do laundry and you showed me how to do laundry, and just make them feel human again. Does that make sense? Like, because you don't. That part of you is taken away. And so you get to teach them just how to cook and bake and laugh and ride bikes and just be a kid. We don't see girls that are just having teenage girl fits, or fights with parents. I mean, these girls have been through the ringer, imagine, and not exaggerating, because I've been in their shoes, and some of them tell me their stories. So just imagine the worst nightmare you could possibly think of for a child, and then multiply that times 10, and that's basically what a lot of our residents have, why they're there. And that's the cool thing about TDP and why we do so many events, is because everything, court costs, medical, education, extracurriculars, the girls are in dance. We've had people come out and teach them archery. There is 0 cost to the family, which is huge, because how do you tell someone like, honey, I know you had a hard experience if you're a parent, grandparent, friend, whomever, but I can't afford to get you help. Can't imagine turning them away because of a dollar bill, of a green piece of paper, and saying, I'm sorry, your trauma doesn't meet our finances. It's kind of like the elephant in the room. We need funds. Just like someone needs to fund their own house, to pay the electric bill, the electric company doesn't care how much of a passion you have, it costs. And so the same thing for the campus. We need the funds, but we need the manpower. Like I said, we have 4 residents, we have 30 beds, we have 1 house guardian. It takes a lot to do what our house guardian does and what the team does that's out there 24/7, constantly with the girls. But the sad thing is there are thousands, literally, no exaggeration, thousands on the waiting list just for TDP. Then you get just the waiting list in general from the surrounding states, because we take residents from all over. Our last resident was from New York. We've had residents, we've had them from New Mexico. You get all of these girls that are just waiting, and we have 1 house guardian. She can only realistically give the time and attention to so many girls, because again, you're not just dealing with teenage girls. These girls have trauma upon trauma. The main thing I always tell people, I'm not usually very public with my story up until just recently, but when I would do one-on-ones, the main thing I would tell people is, this is not in a foreign country. This is not the boogeyman and the scary man in the kidnapper van. I was raped by coaches. I was raped by pastors. And we're talking from 6 to 16. So it wasn't like I was, 16, 17, 18. Primarily between the ages of 6 and 13 were the majority of those time frames. My friends' parents, male, female, random people too that my father found. And I don't want to scare people, but it literally is in your neighborhood. It's in your next door. I was in cheerleading, I was in pageants, I did martial arts. I was everybody's friendly, happy-go-lucky girl. Everybody thought my dad was the most amazing father, single father raising 3 daughters. He looked the part. He worked in government offices in the towns. We moved all the time. Now I know why. But everywhere we moved, my dad was loved and just praised for being amazing. And the entire time he was a monster, lending me out like I was, you know, just a coat that someone needed because they were cold. So realistically, we're never going to stop human trafficking. Selling people has been since the beginning of time. What we can do is we can be cycle breakers. We can educate ourselves, educate our children can educate their children. We can be more vigilant about teaching about the education of online. We didn't have online. There is so much to learn about, and every time you click online, you can learn something more, or you hear another story. Just come, walk through the doors. How can I help? I want to learn. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't even have to know what you're doing. Just walk through the doors. I'm a deep diver, and I wanted to know more. I got on the website. There was so much information. I scheduled a time to be a volunteer because I wanted to see what it was about. And after that, I saw the people, and slowly, year by year, this is year 5, I've just seen that these people, they put their mouth where their money is, however the saying is. Like, they stand behind what they do. They're not going to tell you some fluff and then realistically they're doing this. So if people want to know more about the Demand Project, just come check it out. For real, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's not hard. We have to do better. We have to do better. Like, that's it. We have to do better.